What's happening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deadstock Media. I want to thank you for stopping in today because we happen to be checking out one of my favorite silhouettes of all time. This particular shoe is brought to us by Social Status and Nike brand, and it actually happens to be part of a two-pair capsule that was just released known as the Recess capsule. And while we were privileged enough to land both pairs this past week, we're going to be checking out the darker of two colorways today. I think most of you figured out that I'm talking about the Nike Air Max Penny 1s in black and dark blue. Before we make the jump though, I'm Tyler with Deadstock Media, and if you're into all things sneaker related, you've definitely found your way to the right channel. In fact, you should probably hit that subscribe button down below, turn on all notifications, that way you can save yourself a little time down the road. And don't be afraid to hit the like button either. I appreciate every single one, and they definitely help us here on the channel. But without much more talking, let's get to it. Ask any sneakerhead, ask any hoop fan, ask anybody who was living it while it was happening, and they'll be quick to tell you that the Air Max Penny 1 was one of the biggest shoes of its time, and to this day ranks super high on everybody's list. Now, I remember back in 1995 when these originally dropped. Actually, no, I don't. I was 4 or 5 years old at the time, and I wasn't into shoes or basketball or any of the stuff that us hypebeasts are into nowadays. But I do remember back in 2011 when I landed my first pair of pennies, and it was a big moment in my life and in my shoe catalog gathering. They were used, they were a little beat, but they still had a lot of life left in them. I was lucky to land the notorious Orlando colorway, which I think a lot of us can know and appreciate. Fast forward to the year 2022, and that Orlando pair is long gone, and they left a penny-sized hole in my shoe collection. That all changed this week when I was lucky enough to land the pair that I'm just itching to show you. In fact, let's just jump right in. We haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to start off by showing the packaging. I really want to give a shout out to the Social Status team because when it comes to detail elements of their packaging and the shoes in general, they don't miss a beat, and this is not one that's going to disappoint. So this pack is known as the Recess pack, and the first thing you can check out is there is a blackboard-like effect to this box here. If you look hard enough, you can see the Social Status branding as well as the Nike swoosh. I'm not sure if you can pick up what the writing says, but it says Nike, it says Social Status, and it even has a phrase that I think we all should remember from our elementary school days. In fact, if you know it, say it along with me. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Now, when we crack the box open, the first thing that we see is the packaging paper, which once again, just the detail of it all. It looks like lined paper. I feel like I'm gonna be asked to write an essay or something right about now. As we get through the wrapping, we're welcomed by a shoe that is reminiscent of my childhood and nostalgic for all the right reasons, yet dope enough to stand on its own too. We have the Air Max Penny 1 Recess in black, and I'm floored. I'm in absolute awe of this shoe. It's pretty dope, and we're gonna break down every element for you right here and now. I'm gonna lead off talking about the upper because it happens to be the first thing that I touched on this shoe, and it's this ultra soft micro suede material. It's luxurious, it's lush. It feels like they spared no expense in crafting this shoe from the ground up. Now, as you get a look at the toe, you see this Nike bubble right here. Come up the tongue, you have the Penny Hardaway logo here, which is iconic in its own way. And then one of the little detailing elements that I'm gonna shed some light on first and foremost is the tongue tab and the heel tab are primarily black, but they have almost like a chain pattern to them in white that really makes them stand out and pop with the rest of the shoe. The inner lining of the tongue is a really clean white. Come around the back side of the shoe, you have the interlaced logoing of Social Status and Nike. I really like the way it's embroidered on here. It gives it a nice tactile touch. Now, I remember back in my earlier days of being a sneakerhead and not being super careful with my kicks. I would run into curbs or kick shopping carts or whatever the case may be, and pennies always had my back. There's this rubber onlay that goes on both sides of the shoe that act almost as a buffer. If I kick something, I'm just able to wipe this off, clean it up real nice, as opposed to if I hit the suede or scratch the suede or mess that up, it's a whole different beast when it comes to cleaning. Coming around the back side of the shoe again, we have the Air unit, which is distinct to all the Air Max models. We're gonna turn the shoe over and you're gonna see a brilliant icy blue bottom and that big swoosh there. You know, that kind of ties in what we're gonna talk about next, which happens to be one of the doper elements of this shoe. and that is this swoosh right here. Now you'll notice that this swoosh looks like it has baseball seams attached to it, and you'd be right. The recessed model of the Air Max Penny is actually an homage to what you were playing with on the schoolyard back in the day. There's 5 interchangeable swooshes that come with this shoe. There's baseball, there's football, there's golf, tennis, and of course basketball, because this is a basketball shoe. Even with no swoosh attached, this is a pretty dope model. It is Velcro, but I think you can see that there is a slight blue elephant print to them that makes this shoe even more reminiscent to the Orlandos that I had back in the day. Here are the 5 swooshes that you have to play with. Now I think you can see all the different colors that you have to mess around with, and all the different ways that you can customize your shoe exactly how you're trying to rock them. What's doper is that all of these swooshes have matching laces included in the box as well. While I have no plans to play hoops in these, they definitely remind me of a much simpler time. Recess, playing 21 with your friends, trying to be first in lunch line, all those things that come along with being a kid. Those feelings are definitely channeled through this shoe, and I appreciate every single one of those vibes. Before we get into the closing credits of this video, I just want to send a big shout out to James Whitner and our friends over at Social Status, because they're doing something really cool surrounding this release. While both pairs of this collaboration sold out pretty much immediately, Social Status held back and is going to re-release these pairs in limited quantities this upcoming week with a really dope social give back program attached. Now how this will work is when customers are ready to check out, not only will they have the option to purchase their pair, but they'll also have the ability to donate a pair of these shoes to a needy child, family, or organization that may need some support. And even if you don't happen to have a child or an organization in mind, you can easily leave that up to Social Status and they will decide what organization is worthy of this donation. You guys, this is a really dope opportunity to give back, and I just want to, tip my hat to the Social Status team for making this happen. August is back to school month, and it hits home for a lot of families that may have a hard time making ends meet. So any way that we can give back, any way that you can do your duty, I encourage you to. Giving back makes us all feel better, and Social Status is making it easy on us to do just that. This re-release is going to be taking place on Social Status's website on Friday, July 22nd, 2022 at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. So make sure you're online and ready for this release. All the information will be linked down below. Make sure you check it out. And there you have it, you guys. Real quick breakdown of the Nike Air Max Penny 1 in black, part of the recess capsule that happened to just drop from Nike and Social Status. If you happen to take anything from this video at all, please hit the like and subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never have to miss a beat. This is Tyler with Deadstock Media, signing off.